came in on Sunday. The coaches put up the score from last year's game. I guess how much motivation does it give you guys knowing what the last meeting with this team was like?
Yeah, I mean, it's another ball game for me. When I see that score, it reminds me of just how I wasn't able to do much and how I missed a lot of throws. How I made a lot of mistakes that game that I probably wouldn't have made, at the beginning of that season. So when I look back at that game, it was a lot of little things that happened early. Like I think like the first third down, ended up missing Q-Scan by an inch, and then a few third downs later in that game, overthrows with Luke, miscommunication, and it was a lot of little things that happened in that game. So when I look at that game, look at going into this game, I feel like those are the little things that we had to tighten up. So going into this week, it was more so focusing on ourselves instead of everything external.
Jalon, last year when you guys played him, you were kind of just coming back from injury.
Yeah.
Knocking some rust off.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I missed a lot of throws that I feel like, me 100% I'm making, especially those little short routes. I mean, I was missing throws that, I feel like I wouldn't have missed since high school. So, going into this season, I feel confident, feel like, we're ready to go.
When you look at Texas on defense, what do you see?
Yeah, I mean, that they run the same scheme as they ran last year. They have a lot of athletes on that side of the ball. All over the field. When it comes to their D line, they're mobile guys. So they're able to get around. They're very fast with what they do, and they're very decisive with when they do it. So there's playmakers all over the field on that side of the ball, and I feel like if we play our game, we're just gonna have to be able to keep on making those guys move around.
How are you guys embracing the challenge of going to play down there in a tough place to play?
Yeah, I mean, it's another game for us. I feel like, we if we keep doing what we're doing, we're going to be able to keep playing our brand of football and, just keep on being able to do what we can do.
For you guys as an offense, how much momentum do you feel like you guys have going into this game? You guys have put up points in basically every game this season.
Yeah, I mean, we can't look at the past, though. Like I said, it's another game of football. It doesn't really matter, who's going against who. It's chess, not checkers. So I feel like in the game of football, whichever team is playing, at their best at that time and makes the least amount of mistakes is going to win the game.
What do you think about, not going to think about the 2021 game as much, but the strides that Jared's made in his career, since then?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to see the amount of progress that he's made since that game, especially. I mean, he's a guy, he was a walk-on, and after that game, he's just been, making plays all over the field. We do as much as we can with him, and Coach K does a good job of putting him in situations to be able to, do what he does best.
What type of relationship have you built with Keaton Kubeka since he got on campus?
Yeah, I mean, he's hungry. I feel like he's a guy who wants to be able to, get on the field as soon as possible and be able to, show everybody he can make plays. And in practice, he's definitely doing that. He has the ability to be able to go up and get the ball. And I feel like for a freshman, he's came in and, with a full head of steam, when it comes to the playbook, asking questions and trying to make sure that he's doing everything to a T.
You obviously played as a freshman and played a lot of games. Did you have any advice for him of what it takes to play as a freshman? And
stay the course. I was blessed with the opportunity to be able to play as a true freshman, but even if I wasn't able to, I was just going to stay the course. I came in not knowing that I was going to be able to play as a true freshman. I was more so game one, I was just like, all right, it's that year to be able to sit back. Finally, for the first time since I was 8 years old, not playing football, just looking at the game. And then I got thrown in their game too. So, I would just say stay the course. Your time and your path is going to be different from everybody else's, and everything happens in God's timing.
JD, when you talk about road trips, you guys have a lot of guys who have been through that, and obviously the crowd noise and playing in a road environment is part of that, but there's so much else that's involved in that. How helpful is it that you guys have a bunch of dudes who have been through that? Yeah, I mean, it helps because, I feel like the more that you get, used to doing something, the more it doesn't bother you as much. Like, and when we're running inside zone, we've been running inside zone since day one. So the more banked reps that we have of that, it's something that the coaches don't have to harp on when we're practicing certain things. So, when we're talking about crowd noise, that's something that's been a big emphasis this week. In practice, we have like you guys see in Colorado with the speakers walking around with the players and everything like that. I mean, it's really that serious because when you're in the game, that's 100,000 some people around the stadium, and we have to make sure that we're all on the same page, even though we can barely hear each other.
Jalon, we saw you start using your legs a little bit more last week. Is that by design or just when it comes up?
Yeah, I mean, I've said it since they got here. Whatever Coach K calls, I'm gonna run it as if it's the best play call ever. When he made those play calls, the read key went down, and I was able to pull the ball, and we were able to make some plays off of that.
What's the fine line there for you between get the ball out quick and extend the play, and how long is too long to extend it? And do you think of all that in real time, or is that more preparation stuff? And do you even think about it at all?
Yeah, I mean, if we look back 2 years ago, when I felt some pressure, I usually wouldn't extend the play. I would try to run the ball as soon as I can, try to find a gap. But, as you look at these NFL quarterbacks and these other college quarterbacks who are having so much success, such as Caleb Williams, he's able to extend the play, and that's what makes him so special. So, the more I feel like you can extend the play and, be able to make a play downfield, then that's going to be able to help you as a quarterback. But, like you said, there's a fine line, especially in the Nevada game on that third down when I tried to do too much and make a play. I feel like it's more instinctive and in the game. I'm not really thinking like, all right, I'm taking too much time, or, I have to gain more time. But if I feel like I need half a second more for this route to be able to come open in the middle of the field, then I'm going to try to buy as much time as I can to be able to make that play.